Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Faithful to Destination X, where we're discussing Destination X UK Series 1 Episode 3. And the bus was looking a bit loose. But now it's full up again, isn't it, by the end of the episode?
Sorry?
Loose, free, empty. Gauging.
Swallowed a thesaurus again, have you, this week? You've decided to... It's because you watched Loose Doctors yesterday, isn't it? You got the word loose in your mind.
There's so many versions of loose.
At least you know how to check your vulva now, so that's the main thing.
Mm-hmm. On the floor with a mirror in between.
Oh, you saw that too, did you? I didn't think you saw that. Oh, God, I was literally getting ready for work, and that's the first thing. I switch on the TV and it's like... Because I was working back shift, in case anyone says, working that time. Anyway, so...
Is that how you check your vulva? Is it your back shift?
Every time... When I want to check my back shift, I get on the floor with the raised platform in front of the studio, and I would say millions of viewers, but that would be being too generous. Hundreds of viewers. No, I'm not talking about us. Well, if I'm talking about us, tens of viewers. But on a national broadcaster like ITV, hundreds of viewers for Loose Doctors, I'm sure. And I get a mirror and I have a quick peek down below.
Good. Is it all okay?
It seems fine. A bit loose.
Like the Destination X bus.
Just like the Destination bus. Yes, so hello everyone. Hope you enjoy the podcast. We are going to talk about Destination X in a moment, but before we start, don't forget you can get in touch with us by going to link to our link tree, linktr.ee/faithful2, where all our links are on there as well. That's linktr.ee/faithful2. And if you like the podcast, you can also help us by giving us a donation by going to buymeacoffee.com/faithful or coff.ee/faithful, where you can donate a destination to us, just like Pompey George bought us a destination.
Hello,
Pompey George. And he also...
Destination to where?
Destination unknown.
They haven't said. They just bought us a destination, but they haven't told us where we're going.
You need to tell us where you're going. You need to tell us where you want to take us.
I really don't like Rob Brydon when he said, the question. I feel his question needs to be rewritten.
What do you mean, the question?
Where the X am I? It's like, no, don't like that. Doesn't roll off the tongue, does it? Where the X am I? It's like that famous saying, where the X am I? It's like, that's not a famous saying.
They're trying to shoehorn it in, aren't they?
I don't like it.
It's a bit crap, isn't it?
So anyway, but we don't know where we're going. But Pompey George has said...
Yes, Pompey George.
Every new show that you become faithful to, I worry that you will become all smooth and corporate. However, you are as endearingly shambolic as ever.
Genuinely, I said this to you, didn't I? When I saw the email come through from Pompey George, I turned to you and I said, that's possibly one of the most kindest things I've ever heard anyone say to us. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
So you're not going to go corporate? You're not going to go all BBC on us?
I will never go BBC on anyone. The state of the place. Yes, thank you ever so much. And as you say, you can also donate if you want to by buying us a destination. Don't forget to tell us what destination you're sending us to. Buymeacoffee.com/faithful or coff.ee/faithful in order to do that.
Can I just say, comments on our YouTube.
Oh, watch on YouTube. You can also watch us on Spotify. You can listen to us on any of your favourite podcast apps. All the links are on our link tree.
Maybe they are right now, since they're listening or watching us.
Who knows?
Jess said, I also hate the close-ups of the eyes on the goggles. It really freaks me out.
Because last episode you complained about the close-up of the eyes. They only did it once this time. Did you notice they only did it once?
They're listening.
You
always are.
You're always listening.
Also, last week we couldn't remember what Spain had as currency before Euros.
Yes, we said potatoes or something, didn't we? We just threw out nonsense.
Well, we've got Diego... has gotten in touch.
Go, Diego, go.
He has given us this message. Do you want to read that one?
He had a good spin-off, by the way, from Dora the Explorer. Sorry if I've just culturally just appropriated you, and I apologise. Oh, what?
It's a visual joke. What is it? Well, describe what I'm pointing at.
Ben is pointing at a message that's been written in presumably Spanish.
Yeah, well, I've translated it. There you go. So goodness. The answer is...
Pesetas? I'm not sure. I'm not Spanish. Thanks for another great podcast episode. But that was written in Spanish.
And his name's Diego.
Go, so Diego, go.
I did know that. So
I wonder if Diego gets that all the time, like what I've just done.
No. Who is Diego?
Diego's the cartoon from Nick Jr.
Is he hot?
No, it's a child's cartoon. I think they've redone it recently on 3D computer graphics. Why have you done Diego. There you go.
Oh no! Oh,
Good.
it's like the sister of
The brother.
Dora the Explorer.
Dora the Explorer, yeah. If you'd watched Dora, you would have been able to read that without the translate.
True.
Knapsack.
And I also want to touch on this subject
Mm-hmm.
very quickly before we go on with the discussion. Russell has said, has Nick ever said anything to even suggest that he is straight? Because we keep calling him a straight white man. Now, I do want to
No,
say...
that's true.
Mm,
Oh, sorry, yes, go on.
well, us saying he's a straight white man is not him being a straight white man. It's the feeling of being a straight white man.
It's a vibe.
Yeah. It's not him
There's a
actually
vibe
being...
about
He
Nick.
could be a straight white man. Who knows?
There's a vibe.
Any of these contestants could give off straight white man
I'm in a
vibes.
really singing mood, aren't I?
But that's what we meant by straight white man.
Well, let's
Nick.
just say then, instead of calling him a straight white man, let's
My
just
comment
call him,
still stands.
Let's
even
just
though
call
episode
him a hard piece of throbbing clay because of all his muscles. Last episode we said
and his
how
brain throbs.
his
too.
brain is the mushy part inside. If you knock off, if you get one of those like
nothing of Nick is
wires
mushy.
and knock through the clay, inside you just see this mush of brain, but it's larger than the average bear. Let's
Did you
just say.
know when you're doing art class, when you're doing the clay sculpting,
Hmm.
the teacher purposely asks you to destroy your artwork
Why
when
did
it's
they do
when
that?
it's done perfect? Because you have to get used to saying goodbye to art and redoing stuff. So you like make it perfectly, and then they tell you to like take off the nose. Do you know that?
No, I think that's
Well, they
awful.
do it.
All I remember is that during an art class, I made this stunning piece of clay art, and the next day it exploded in the kiln.
Spotify have also been commenting about Nick.
Oh yeah, go on.
Darcy said, Nick is honestly so arrogant. He's probably going to win because he's so clever.
He is clever.
But then someone else, who is Sharp Maxine, says Nick to win.
Good.
So, and also Kat has something to say about Thingy, who left the competition on episode 1.
Thingy. Oh, Ashvin. Not Ashvin. He just came in, didn't he? Who was the new?
What's his name? Mardy.
Mardy.
Said, I've read enough about production on reality TV to be suspicious. A lot of the time, people who, quote, choose to leave early are actually asked to leave because they find something out that they shouldn't. In this case, maybe he heard production members outwardly talking about the route or where they were.
I mean, yeah, but that would be just like a one-off opportunity. But I genuinely believe that Mardy, and I may have mentioned this in the last episode, but I believe that Mardy went on there thinking it was one thing and ended up not being that one thing, and so decided that it wasn't good enough for his rep as an online influencer.
Well,
That's all I'm saying.
I'm sticking with the idea that he slept on that bus one night and was like, this isn't for me.
Maybe
I'm
he
off.
slept with one of the production crew on the bus. Maybe the rest of them complained there was too much noise coming from his bunk. Mardy. Oh, Mardy.
No.
Sexual prowess of Mardy.
Right, we've got lots to discuss.
We
on
have
this
got lots to
episode
discuss. We're 8 minutes in, we've done
because-
nothing.
Yes, we have. We've done lots.
Okay.
But lots of stuff happened.
Well,
They went on a roundabout.
2 out, 1 in, 3 in. Went
That's
on a
in Nick's
roundabout.
bunk.
That's Mardy's bunk. That's where he got chucked off. 2 out, 1 in.
We went round a roundabout which had Red Bulls on it, which
Mm-hmm.
Darren thought were meatballs. I thought that's actually a good suggestion, Darren. Not Darren, sorry. Jackie P's husband.
Oh, yes. Yes. Well done. Well done.
I thought actually everyone was making fun of him for that, and I thought no, that does look like a plate of meatballs. And I was adamant that he was correct, but he wasn't correct.
No, he
in the
was
end.
correct. He was correct. It was food.
Yeah, but it wasn't meatballs.
Yeah,
It
but
was-
at least he was closer to everyone else. What were everyone else saying it was? They were saying it was... I forget what
they didn't. They just pushed his idea down, but didn't say what their idea
Yeah,
was.
so at least Jackie P's husband is like throwing out suggestions out there. You know, Jackie P's husband started off the episode very emotional, felt like he wasn't being part of the team, felt like he was getting everything wrong. It was a real roller coaster for Jackie P's husband this episode because he was like throwing out suggestions, pretty much getting ignored. He was getting blindsided by Judith, who he believed was
Love
telling
you,
the
Judith.
truth. He even before the vote, is that what it's called? Vote or Destination X bit?
It's where the X am I bit.
Yeah, before then, he asked Judith just to clarify. Saskia stepped in quickly because everyone knows that Judith can't lie. Judith cannot lie. As
She
you
just
then
doesn't
found
answer.
out. Judith just sits there with her eyes open like, what do I say?
What did you do,
I say?
Judith?
Nothing.
Judith, where did you press your X?
No. Jackie P's husband asked Judith, like, where did you play or something like that? And Judith said, I play strategically. And he was like, what does that mean? And Jackie was like, I'm going to the toilet. Because also it was noted by Ben and Nick that Judith normally likes eye contact and talks to them. But since that challenge that they had on the train, that she hadn't really made any eye contact with any of them and would exclusively only talk to Josh and Saskia for the whole rest of the trip as they were making their way to Destination X for episode 3.
More wasted petrol this episode.
I don't like the way they
went
just
in
go
a
around in
circle.
circles all the time. I know. And then they caught a train, which then took them in a circle. I mean, it's not exactly an endorsement of a climate. No. Is it really? Let's be honest.
What would Nick say?
They can't put that CO2, what do they call it? The CO2 footprint certificate at the end of the episode saying that they're a carbon neutral TV production, because that would be a lie.
Especially when those 3 contestants were also following on a different bus.
They're on a different
presumably.
bus. Who says they're on a bus? They might just be flying to each destination.
Yeah.
We were right. We spotted them in the very first town. A few people had spotted that, I noticed on social media.
You did, yeah.
You know,
They were having a coffee.
they're having a coffee, but they're also in other destinations being following them throughout the show. But the other team didn't find that out until later on in this episode.
Do those 3, Chloe, Claire and Ashvin, do they now have like a huge advantage because they know where they've been?
They know where they are. They know they're in Munich.
But they also know where they've been too. So like, is that not a huge advantage on this show?
Doubt
to know
it,
all
because
that
I doubt they'll be
information?
going back to the same destinations again.
Well, that's an advantage then, because they know they've been there, but the other guys don't.
But the other team did roughly know where they were. They just didn't know exactly where they were.
They confirmed that they do know.
No, but
They don't know that they know that they do. They
don't know that they know that we know that they know.
Exactly. But the 3 do know.
They know their starting point as well. If you think about it, while no one else did. I suppose
when they
kind
went
of
in a
did
circle
the
then on the plane. Lots of circles.
Lots of circles. Lots of fuel being wasted.
Just turn
unnecessarily.
left all the time and you end up where you are.
This show is the equivalent of Eggman's space rocket going into space with Katy Perry on board. Do you know what I mean?
Eggman? What, from Sonic?
Jeff Bezos.
Oh.
Dr. Robotnik. Does he not remind you of Eggman?
They should end in
He's
space.
literally one moustache away from being Eggman.
Do you think in the final 3 you'll go to space in the final?
Where the X are you? The moon. Okay, well done. You all win. It would be cool if they did that in space, but I think that would be a step too far for even
Maybe
the BBC,
Series 2.
even the mighty BBC. Yeah, maybe Series 2. I mean, Series 2, I'm expecting them to go to another continent, maybe. But then that would be super tricky. I mean, if I know UK aren't
They could go in
culturally
submarines and place next.
What places in the sea is there? You're in
Coral Reef,
the wreckage of the Titanic,
the Russian Sea, the Black Sea,
the Russian Sea.
Yeah.
Well, you know how big seas are,
Yes.
don't you? Well, then it's not going to be that hard.
Well, you
The
need to
Pacific
mix-
Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean.
You need to
the
mix it
Channel.
up for every series, so it's
Yeah,
either
but-
space or the sea. That's
No,
the
it's
only
not.
options
There's
left.
there's also many other continents that they could go to. They could go to North America. They could go to South America.
Yeah.
Because I believe the American version is North America, isn't it? So they had to guess
Dunno.
what state they went to each time, and they had little clues of which
Oh,
state.
that's stupid.
But the thing, it's not really that stupid.
Oh, sorry, North America. I thought you meant sorry.
North America, the
I just thought
United
you meant-
States of America.
Yeah.
Sorry, because if you think about it, there is a lot of cultural difference. They're states as one conglomerate. They're a bit like the United Kingdom. Think of it that way. So there's England, Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland, but
Right.
together as one, Captain Planet, they are the United Kingdom. So the United States of America is 50 states, but as one, they're the United States. But they all have their own individual qualms.
Queefs.
Loose doctors. But
Right.
my point is that the UK, the British people, are culturally not very. They don't know Europe very well as it is. So imagine if we did one outside. Like, imagine if they went to like.
Well, Darren doesn't know anything about Europe, does he? Oh, London centric.
You say that, but Darren said meatballs, and he was the closest with the roundabout. There were
True.
cherries for a Black Forest gatto.
How did they all know what the Black Forest looked like? When they looked out their train window, Judith and Sassy was like, "Yep, that's the Black Forest."
I think
It's
they
like,
just
how?
guessed they were in Germany, and then they just thought of the most common forest in Germany, and they said the Black Forest. But also there was that river, wasn't there?
I don't know.
Danube, and the
It didn't
river,
look very like.
the River Danube is famously
From
they
the
said
footage.
it goes to the Black Forest to the Black Sea.
But like, it doesn't look that iconic to me. But I'm gonna look at pictures of Black Forest. It just looks like a forest.
I love Black Forest gatto. It's really like the most delicious thing in the whole wide world. It's yummy.
So they were on their train. They were split into randomly. They were split into 2 teams,
Yes. I won't say why, but I feel like
4 and 3, because
Yeah.
Mardy messed all the numbers up. anyway, so it would have been 4 and
Again,
4.
Mardy messed up. Also, I believe that Mardy's leaving early also messed up the second game, but we'll get to that
the
later.
repercussions are echoing into episode 4.
Stupid Mardy.
So they're split up into random teams, and they had to they were on a train, and the first one they had to find the flags and get a ticket from a suitcase. Ben, brilliant Ben, my favourite, got it first. Judith was just running around in circles.
They were both, let's be honest, they were given the 4 flags to identify.
Here's your task, and then they did something else.
And then all they did was they just opened every single suitcase. So Ben only got it there first because he was lucky enough to open the right suitcase first. And then when Ben had opened the right suitcase, Judith, I love you, Judith, but come on.
Yeah, you're our favourite.
Judith didn't exactly use her little noggin on this point, because then she should have looked at the suitcase that Ben had won and opened and said, they're the 4 flags. Let me find that suitcase.
Let me apply that logic. She's no pilot, is she?
She's no Josh, that's for sure. Josh had his moment this episode as well. I love Josh for what he did. But yes, carry on.
And then the second task was they then had to read a menu and eat, and then guess what they were eating in a different language. But between each guess, they had to take a bite for some reason.
Yeah, well, I think it was just a way of just slowing them down a little bit, because you could just keep guessing and guessing and guessing and guessing. I mean, they're wasting fuel. Why would they bother with food? Also, on the menu, there was a clue of the destination they were at, and that clue was that each menu item contained bread.
The German word for bread. I saw that straight away.
Did
My
you?
German, I said to you, they said it says
bread
burst on every single one. I was like, that's Germany.
Oh.
And I said, well, that doesn't link to Darren's meatball roundabout, so... But my German GCSE has come in handy on every episode so far.
Well,
Just
maybe
saying.
German is a more popular language spoken in Europe than we actually gave it credit for.
Repercussions over
There's
the world.
French making the Eurovision into an English bilingual, English-French speaking contest, but really maybe the Germans should step in and say, excuse me, French. Excuse me, the French collective.
Our language is all
Our
over
language
this.
is more common than yours, I think you'll find in Germany. I think you'll find in Germany. Germany's more common.
The menu one was between Darren and Nick. They were eating, it was like a cold minty soup.
It was a cold minty soup
And
with bread.
What was Darren eating?
Darren was eating a
balls of
potato
something.
and rice deep fried ball.
Lovely. He kept getting it wrong just because he wanted to finish the plate.
Darren was Mr. Jackie P was very hungry, but to be fair, Nick wasn't exactly very good at this round either.
No.
And Mr. Jackie P,
Mr. Arrogant Nick,
did also mention to Nick, and Nick didn't kind of step down or say like, "Oh, that's a good point, actually, Mr. Jackie P." Nick did actually say. Was told by Mr. Jackie P that if we'd actually worked it out properly, we would have seen that on the menu there was 3 starters, 3 mains, and 3 desserts. So we could have knocked off the 3 desserts immediately and said that's clearly not one of the answers. And Nick just sat there all uncomfortable, was like, oh, I never thought of that.
Let's just keep going. Let's do the one and the other one. And it's like, no, it'll take forever, Nick.
But that's the way Nick played
right
it.
at the beginning of the episode is what we haven't mentioned, that Nick seemed to have people seem to not be too warm on him. Where he talks on the bus, everyone just because he's following the sun, isn't he?
He's following the sun. He got it right though. Again, annoyingly, he was correct. He said we're going northeast because I've been watching the sun. Saskia immediately was like, "Oh, of course you did, Nick." Saskia doesn't trust Nick, nor did James. Josh and Judith, I think, are on the same brand width. The only 2 who kind of have realised that Nick's one to stick close to is Ben and Mr. Jackie P. But Mr. Jackie P is kind of being almost like the minion, the muck on Nick's shoe. He generously gives Mr. Jackie P a little bit of information if he wants to share it. But Ben and Nick seem to have their little with one another, a bit like what James and Saskia have. They have their little secret chats. We've not seen it on camera, but it's been mentioned more than once now on the show. But yeah, no, Nick was right. They were going northeast up toward Germany. Not the most direct route, let's be honest, as we've already mentioned, but he was correct by what he said. So
He's still annoying though, the way he says he's following the sun.
There's the
I was with
arrogance to
Saskia
it,
there.
yeah.
I was like, not so sure about you, nasty Nick.
But luckily for us, Nick didn't win the challenge, and it was Saskia, Judith, and Josh who won the challenge.
Because they actually tasted the food and worked out the ingredients and then translated live.
It's a shame that Saskia kind of bonds her alliance to first of all James, but then unfortunately for reasons we'll talk about in a moment, she then kind of bonded herself to Josh, because actually the team of Saskia and Judith, when they were working together to work out the food, was a very good team.
Yeah, it worked.
I just think that Saskia can't trust Judith to keep anything to herself because, as we've seen, so glaringly obvious in this episode, Judith cannot lie for the
She'll
best.
explode.
She will.
Two more secrets and that'll be
Her
there.
eyes were literally popping out of her head because she was just desperately looking at any other place other than near Ben or Nick. Because she just can't, which is a lovely charm. It's a beautiful thing to be. It's like, God, in the real world, it's lovely to see people out there who cannot lie, very convincingly. But as Saskia said, in this game, you have to be who you're not in the real world. And so you need to lie, cheat and steal in order to win this game.
And they did lie, cheat and steal because they had the football lie, thanks to Josh.
Josh knows his football.
I mean, if I saw that magazine, I'd just be like, right.
I know, I wouldn't have had a clue.
I thought he was the English team captain, that guy.
Yeah, but England is a national team. They're talking about club teams.
Sorry.
There you go.
Pardon?
Club teams. So like Manchester United.
So he also plays for England still too, not another team.
You can play for a national team and play for a club team.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
I think you play. I don't know.
How much money do you need?
I don't think you get paid a lot for playing. I think you do get paid, but you play for a national team for the pride of playing for your country. I think is more the case. I'm sure they're getting paid well enough.
I was going to say,
Don't get me
that
wrong.
sentence of they don't get paid that much is...
I mean, I played
That's a
for
very
the-
Nick sentence of you.
If England football team wants a new player, I'd happily play for them. And I wouldn't do it with the pride, I'd do it with the money.
Well, they knew where they were. They saw nudists. They saw the Black Forest, which was instantly identifiable.
Yep.
They saw the football man.
Bayern
what was his
Munich.
name? Something Keane or
I
something?
have no
can't
idea.
remember.
Bayern Munich player now, though.
Yep. And they thought that we'll lie and we'll say it was a different player in a different kit who
Yes.
who plays.
He clocks in and clocks out every Saturday to play a
Who's
football game.
contracted up
Yeah.
to 30 hours a week to play for like another team
It was another
in
German
Germany,
team,
but
yeah.
far away to and that's where Judith cracked. And Josh, little game player Josh,
Very little, more
he
than
was
little, sorry.
very horrible towards the end of the episode when he just decided who to save.
Well, this is
against
the funny
the
thing.
team.
So they went back to the same train station again, and they had to play another game
In
where
a circle.
They went in a circle where they had to play another game where Ashvin, Chloe Ann, and Claire had an opportunity to
Surprise.
join the bus if they were to win, but they had to be broke up into teams. The team that won got automatically vetoed; they didn't have to play the game.
Who went first? Claire and...
Hang on, we're talking about Josh here.
Yeah, no, just to get through them. It was Claire and Nick won first. And then...
No, Claire and Nick came second. Chloe Ann and Ben were the
Oh, that
first.
was it, yeah.
Claire and Nick were second. It left then with Ashvin and James to play the last two. The reason James was playing and Ben and Nick and not Darren from the other team was because Josh, Judith and Saskia had to say who they wanted to save from the other team. Judith and Saskia were both like, James, keep James. I was on, to be honest, that's fair. James.
The girls' gays and they stuck together.
Absolutely.
They
But also,
both said, James, let's save James.
Saskia's got the bond with James as well, so it would make logical sense to keep. But Saskia was very, I don't want to really choose anyone. Oh, I don't really want to. So then that kind of gave, and Judith we know doesn't talk unless she's talked to. and she doesn't
Safer that way.
It is, and we saw from last episode that Judith has occasionally given her point of view, and it's just been shot down. So maybe that confidence is gone as well. So the most confident of the group of three, Josh, just without any prior conversation, just said, "We'll have Darren." And Saskia then said, "No, wait." And
We haven't
then
decided yet.
Rob Brydon then said, "I've seen. This is what I thought was a bit weird. Clearly, the production crew was in the ear saying, yes, do that, because that'd be more exciting. We want to keep James. We want to see James in the fight. So, because any other occasion, I think they probably would have said, like, no, right, this needs
you
to be a
have
group
to
decision. Is
final
that
decision.
your group final decision? Yeah.
Who wants to be a millionaire? Final answer.
Absolutely. But Rob Brydon was like, yep, you've made a choice. Now go.
It was like, yeah, so I thought that was a little bit, production wise and Josh wise, that was not fair.
I love Jackie P's husband. I really do. But let's be honest, that was tactical by Josh. And he said so himself because he doesn't think Jackie P's husband's got a chance of winning this show.
But James is
James
clever.
is clever and he did.
My
But
favourite.
I have to say, I'm really disappointed James went because actually I really enjoyed the gameplay that James was playing with Saskia. I
same.
really did. I thought it was going to be fascinating to see how Saskia and James carry on playing together because when Saskia got the information from the first task and they lied to everyone, Saskia then took James to one side and then told him the truth. Of what
Then
they
he
knew.
carried on the lie as well to the
And
others.
then James carried on the lie to his own team.
And it worked for Ben and Darren. Nick, of course,
No, Nick's got his own mind, doesn't he?
muscle head,
Yeah.
was like, no,
His brain
I
was
know you're
throbbing.
lying. I know you're lying. I know we're in Munich, so nothing works on him.
But I was disappointed.
Sacrificed, I'm afraid.
I have to say, I was disappointed that James had gone, and it was a shame because I was interested to see how the gameplay was going to go between him and Saskia. I thought they were finalists from the beginning of this episode. I thought James and Saskia. I thought if there's a final three, it was going to be James, Saskia, and Nick. And I would love to have seen a final three of them, because imagine James and Saskia working together to try to knock Nick out, and it would have been that as well. Let's be honest. And then I don't know if there'll be like a traitors style final when if there was James and Saskia in the end.
There's only one winner.
This is it, but maybe they get the opportunity to split it, or maybe James and Saskia just said we'll split it, but we
James
need to
would
get
have
rid
just
of
thrown
Nick.
Saskia out of the bus, wouldn't he?
No,
He
do you
would
think he
have.
would?
Yes,
I don't think James is that callous.
but in a nice way. Here he is.
Oh,
Because he said something in episode 2 which made him like, me and Saskia friends, but if I have to,
I'll kill her. I'll strangle her.
which we respect.
James, I mean, clearly you're under a BBC contract, but if you want to get in touch, we won't tell anyone. Let us know what you would have done as your game plan if you made it to the end.
Would you
With
have
Saskia.
backstabbed Saskia?
And we
Yes.
may or may not then at the last episode, when we know that tight-lipped agreement will no longer be carried out. But, or we won't. We'll keep it secret. But no, this goes out to all the players, but James, I'm curious to know. Especially because, look, no disrespect to Ashvin. Fine, you're back in the game now. But my God, could anyone look less interested about being on
You
the
leave
show?
Ashvin alone.
Well, like throughout the whole time.
He just
like,
looks a bit nervous, that's all.
What, Mr. Like, I'm so confident I can do cartwheels in front of ladies. And I
Pardon?
made that shit up.
When did he do that in the airport? He runs very quickly, I noticed that. He was the first one to the box and back. Beat
That's
Nick in
fine.
a run.
And I'm sure Ashvin...
Nick's done a marathon across every country.
well, he's going to be a competitor to Nick now, isn't he? There's a running game in the next episode if you saw in the
Ashvin's
preview.
my new favourite.
Well, fine, but like, tell your fate. Like when he beat James to get onto the bus, like he just stood there and was like, and it was like, and I said this, and you told me off because you said that's very rude. But like, tell your face that you're happy, Ashvin. Come on. It's like James was like broken, and James like muttered to himself like,
Or maybe he didn't want to rub it in James's face, so he played it
shush. No,
humbly.
No,
Humbly, I have my ticket, but James is gone, and he was
like,
my partner this whole time.
Claire was like, I can't wait to get into the investigation as an ex-copper. I'm going to really fight for them. And Chloe
Susanna
Ann,
Reid, yeah.
poor old Chloe Ann. Chloe Ann was like Chloe Ann reminds me of Judith, and I think Chloe Ann and Judith need to get together and maybe huddle and become like the innocent twins. But she stuck herself to Ben, which unfortunately was again a mistake for her, as we find out later in the end of the show. But Ashvin just kind of feels like just a rogue outsider, but also that he's just like, I don't know, I just feel
Well,
like
he's not even got on the bus yet, so he's going to be an outsider because Darren has picked his teams. It's us versus them now.
Are we allowed first impressions? Yes. And is my first impression of Ashvin that he looks like he doesn't want to be there? Yes.
No, I don't think that's fair. I think he looks like he's a bit shy and nervous of cameras.
Yeah, but he's had time to warm up
No,
now.
he hasn't.
been
All he's done
following
is had a
them.
coffee and a croissant.
Yeah, with Chloe Ann and Claire. and I
and
bet
he
that's
was-
been
he
a
was-
lovely time.
he was having a lovely time there because there's no
Yeah.
camera in his face. Now there's a camera in his face.
But yes, but them three now are getting on
He's
the
only
bus.
22 as well.
They're
very
like
young.
they're like the people who are in the secret house on Big Brother. They've made their bonds now. They've had their three episodes worth of bonding off the bus. They're now their own unit, which is what the other unit, the originals as they called themselves, are afraid of, because they now think that Ashvin, Chloe Ann and Claire are going to play their own game where them three are going to look after themselves and not share the information between Darren, Josh, Judith, Nick and Saskia. And I wouldn't be surprised, because this is reality television and production crews aren't stupid, that they're going to now make games where they specifically single out Ashvin, Chloe Ann and Claire as having to make decisions against the original five.
But maybe all of them will join their powers together to get rid of Nick, because it will take 6 to defeat Nick.
Nick's a very powerful player though.
He is.
and
He's done a marathon across every country.
He's done a marathon over every country, and he's
Ashvin
the
will be in
only-
his sights for
He's
his legs.
the only one who didn't listen to what the other team had said. He decided to make his own opinion, said he was going to go with Munich,
And he survived.
and he survived. Ben and Darren, Jackie P's husband, famously, didn't listen to that. They did listen to the team, I should say, and ended up... Well, I believe that Darren and Ben were the bottom two.
Yes. I mean, it was obviously really close between Darren and Ben, because Darren double-checked with Saskia her lie, and she doubled down, and he was like, right, that's answered my questions, thank you. and he clicked the wrong place. But I think Ben must have went slightly a few kilometers to the other side.
I think Ben had a bit of a nightmare on this episode.
So we lost James and we lost Ben. Do you want to learn a bit about them?
Oh, of course I do.
Although we haven't got much time. So.
We do one quote for each. Go.
What's your name and where do you come from?
James and Ben.
James.
23.
Pick a number from 1 to 11, please.
I'm trying to find a short one. That one. That number.
7.
Yes.
What assumptions will other players make about you? James says, people will think I'm not taking it seriously because I'm going in and I'll have a laugh, but I'm also there to make money.
That told us nothing really, did it?
Means
he's going in and he's there to make money.
Well, this isn't very good. The quote under describes himself in one sentence. I'm a 22-year-old soul. Well, he's 23. So the editor should change that to make it the same.
No, he must have, when he had this interview, was 22, had a birthday, and then when they recorded the
they
episode,
should have
he was
updated
23.
it, shouldn't they? Right,
Well,
so
yeah.
who else is there? Ben.
No, then there'll be a misquote, and then they'll get told off. What's your name? Where'd you come from?
Ben. I'm Ben too.
Oh, do you want me to read one out? Yes, you are Ben.
Number 40.
Should have read your own out,
Number
shouldn't
42. He's aged 42. He's a surf school director. And I pick
He's the same age as me.
same name as me and same age as you.
Spooky.
And we're both, all three of us are surf school directors,
And
which is weird.
I've been to South Wales. Coincidence? Go on, choose a number.
5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How far would you go to win the £100,000, and what would you spend it on? I'm excited to see
Surfboard.
Surfboard, isn't that a Beyonce song? I'm excited to see what I'm capable of in that respect, but my whole life I've put people first, as he did, and this I would say was his downfall.
Too kind.
There is that conundrum that the communities I support are constantly looking for funding, so it would help. There's a number of accessible bits of equipment I'd like to design and build, and that money would give me the freedom to be able to make that happen. So he wants to help the community.
Make
Not
things
selfish
accessible
reasons.
for people who
Yeah.
can't go surfing.
James said in this episode that he feels like his soul couldn't take it if he had to lie. He said it was easier on his soul not to lie. So he was a good person. But unfortunately, as Saskia said, in this game, you have to not be the person you are in the outside world. Lots of very good quotes this episode.
There is.
If I wrote a book of quotes, I'd sell it at Christmas. I'd make a mint.
And before we go, everyone, I know
Yes.
you're all desperate to know this, but we haven't forgotten. Last week, we launched our new social media competition.
Destination unknown.
Can I also just say before you continue this, all week, that song's been just popping into my head for no reason. I'd literally be at work driving and I'd suddenly hear in my head,
am I?
Destination Unknown.
So what we do is we have an image from the world, from Google Maps,
From Europe, isn't it?
no, from anywhere.
Oh, that makes it quite hard.
I
would
don't
say
care.
let's
It's not
stick
meant to be
Europe.
easy. Where the X am I?
Well, from now on, we're sticking to Europe. I'm letting you know.
Well, I won't be. Anyway,
Okay,
so
well,
we
anyone I
had
do will be in Europe.
we had this on our social media posts, and you could all comment and guess where you thought it was.
Where
Destination unknown.
was?
So, Hungary. Wrong.
Yeah, I am a little bit. Oh, sorry, I thought you were.
Paul Henry's mansion, New Zealand. Wrong.
Oh, may I just mention, we are aware that there's a new series of New Zealand traits coming out, and yes, we will be covering it. Carry on.
Somewhere very boring, so I'm going to say Belgium. Wrong. Holland, from someone called Caroline and Tom. Don't know who that is.
Who's
Wrong.
they? Never heard of them.
Caroline and Tom then said, your garden. Wrong. It's not Scotland. Then Caroline and Tom, whoever they are, say,
Love Caroline and Tom. Love them.
don't know who they are.
Don't know who
Are
they
your
are, though.
t-shirts a clue? And I said, no, we're not that good. We're not Destination X. There is
Poor
no
Caroline
clues.
and Tom, they really wanted to know the answer to this.
Well,
you
they'll
were
have to keep
you were literally just
listening.
replying X. Poor Caroline
Destination
and Tom.
X, wrong.
Well, I'm sorry on behalf of both of us.
Is it?
Caroline and Tom.
Paul Henry's back paddock, said Zach, and I said, no, it's not New Zealand. Do you want to know where it is? Where
Of course.
Destination unknown.
it was? Are you
Yes,
ready
please.
for this, everyone? It was in Croatia.
Oh, to Europe.
Right. What's your problem there?
You were making such a fuss about it, like, I don't want to be Europe.
Well, it doesn't have to be Europe, so people can guess where. New Zealand, is that Europe?
Well, no, true.
Right, so shush then.
It should be Europe, though.
Is your garden Europe?
Yes.
Is Paul Henry's
Well,
back paddock Europe?
It's in the European continent, but it's not part of Europe,
There
let's
you
just
go.
say, because of a
So-
certain vote.
Everyone
There you go.
failed of the task of guessing the country where our photo was from, so there'll be a new one up on our social media.
There will be a new...
Destination
I've got control of that now.
Yes.
Danger. This week it's my... Oh.
You need to do it again.
It's my...
Destination unknown.
That is coming up on our social media, and you can find it on Linktree by going all of our social medias, linktr.ee/faithful2. It's on our it'll be on our Blue Sky, and it will be on our Instagram and our Threads. And then just comment underneath and say where you think our destination unknown is, or my destination unknown. Mine's a bit easier as well because I'm not horrible like Ben. And as we say, if you want to help with the podcast, you can you can give us £5 and buy us a destination. Tell us what the destination is, and then if you comment, we'll guarantee to read it out on the show by going to buymeacoffee.com/faithful or coff.ee/faithful. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Lovely, right. Well, we will be back again very soon to cover episode 4 to see how nasty Nick can be.
He's so nasty with his
And a little
clay-like
catch
body
up with Jackie P as
and his
well.
mushy brain. Jackie P and his grandchildren. He mentioned his grandchildren this week.
They always look up to him.
The little, he calls them the little peas.
Yeah, well. Peas in a pod.
Jackie P's
That's
in
going
a
to be
pod.
his podcast that he's going to launch.
That's
him
good.
and Jackie P.
Jackie
Peas in a pod.
You're
Right.
welcome.
So we will see you all again soon. And remember, keep travelling.
That's ridiculous.